Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Learn with Uzi. In this video we are going to talk about widgets and constraints. Let's dive into it. So what is widget? To better understand it, I'll give you an example. Do you know what this is? Of course we know. This is a Lego. So with Lego we can create anything awesome by stacking one after the other. Same way, when you want to create an application, widget will act as a Lego. Like this, look at this house, right? This is built by Lego, stacking it one after the other. So same way, now consider this house as an application and Legos as widgets. In that way, widgets one by one we are building, and a house is built. The same way application will be built. So widgets is anything and everything. Like it can be a button, it can be a text box, or it can be a form. So widgets handle everything from colors to shapes and size to interaction. And interaction, like when you click on a button, what happens, when you hover over it, what happens. So to explain further on it, let me show you an application which I built to understand how widget is, what is widget is, and how it interacts. This is one application called product view. So this screen is a parent widget in which we have a login page, which is an page, and it has a child widget called login. So when you click on login, so this hovering, you see, this is what widget is. Like it handles, when you click on it, it opens the login dialog box for us, and this again is an widget. Now when you click on this, everything which you see in this is a form, and this is also a widget. Now with this we are going to log in into this application. So once you click on the login, and this page is open, that is also one interaction. Now moving further, so the product master. So if you see, the product master is one page which has two child widgets. One is add product and another is view product. So add product has a form, it has a button, it has an image image displayer. So everything in this is a widget. So let's not go to the functionality wise, but let's understand more about what is widgets. Now, as I told, the interactions also taken care by the widget. Now, when I click on search, I have programmed in such a way that it should list all the data is present in the backend. Now you see, this is the table. The table is a widget, and besides it has an image displayer, that is another widget. Now the functionality is, when I click on this image, an image should be displayed in the image displayer. This functionality which has appeared, right, that is taken by widgets. So basically this is what widget is. Coming back to the slides, constraints go down, sizes go up, parent, set, position. Now this is an important rule in Flutter. It is an important rule, like every beginner Flutter developer has to know this. Like constraints go down, sizes go up, parent sets the position. Now we will break it down what it is, but before that, what are constraints? Constraints are basically four doubles, like four parameters: minimum height, minimum width, maximum width. These are all the constraints. Now constraints go down, so the parent widget tells the child widget how big or small it can be. Child alone can't decide whatever size it can be. The parent has to tell them, like, this how big you can be, this small you can be. Sizes goes up. So once the parent tells the child, like, this space you can take, this height you can take, this width you can take, then it decides within the constraints that this much size I am going to take. The child decides. Child tells the parent that this much size I want. Parent sets the position. Though the child says that this much size I want, but child doesn't decide what size it can be. What position it has to be. Parent decides what position it has to be. So moving forward, let me explain with how exactly here everything takes place. Let me demonstrate for you. Okay, now this whole thing is a widget. Okay, This whole thing is a widget. This widget asks its parent. Every widget has its parent till the root parent. Okay, so this widget will ask its parent, what are my constraints? So the parent says you must be 0 to 300 pixels wide, 0 to 85 pixel tall. It tells the parent tells you can be 300 pixels wide and 85 pixels tall. So now widget, it says, okay, I want to have 5 pixels of padding. That is, you can see this, right? This is padding. Then my children can have at most 290 pixels wide and 75 pixels in height. Okay, so then this widget has decided it has to be 0 to 290 pixels wide and 0 to 75 pixels. Now it tells the first child. Okay, so what it tells, the widget tells to the first child, hey child, you must be 0 to 290 pixels wide, 0 to 75 pixels in height. Okay, so then what the first child, now the child says size goes up. Okay, size goes up. What the first child says, I wish to be 290 pixel wide, this as you can see here, 20 pixels tall. This is size the first child has accept as tell, this size I am going to take. Then it says, okay, then the widget says, like, since I want the second child to be below the first one, now the remaining space is like 55 pixels in height. Okay, 55 pixels in height, as 20 pixels is already taken by first child and 5 pixel by the padding. Now the second child, it says, the widget says to the second child, it has to be 290 pixels wide, 55 pixels tall. Then the second child says, okay, I wish to be 140 pixels wide, that is 140 pixels wide, 30 pixels tall. So this has been decided. So the second child, first child has told the sizes to the widget and widget has decided. Now the widget, this widget, the parent widget of first and second child, will tell the positions. The first child has the position of x5, y5, and the second child has a position of x80, y25. This is how now this widget has been established. Now this widget has taken this place, this much place. Okay, so now it will tell the parent. So the parent has given this widget how much size? 300 pixels wide, 85 pixels in height. Now the parent, now this widget will tell, I want to be 300% wide, 300 pixel wide and 60 pixel in tall. This is how the constraints takes place, like how the layout, how the Flutter layout engine lays out all the widgets. This is what it happens. So it is very important to remember this main rule. Constraints go down, size go up, parent sets the position. If we learn this in the earlier stage, when we move forward, it will be easier for us. In software, no matter how efficient any software is, any application is, it will always have limitations. That is where we call trade-offs. Now let's not go to the trade-offs. Let's understand the limitations in the Flutter layout engine. First one, can't have any size it wants. The widget can decide its own size only within the constraints given by its parent. So the child cannot have any size it wants. It can have a size which has been allowed by the parent. Now next, can't know and doesn't decide its own position in the screen. The widget can't know. It can't decide and also know like where it will be placed. That is the decision of the parent widget, where the child widget will be positioned. Now since the parent size position child can't decide it, parent has to decide it. We can't, the parent will also be a child of some other parent widget. So we can't just say this widget decides this constraints or the position unless we look the widget as a whole tree. There will always be a root widget which will have its own, it will have its own child widgets, and it will, the constraints will keep coming down. If child wants a different size from its parent and the parent doesn't have enough information to align it, the child size might be ignored. So we have alignment is also very important, like where you want to place the widget, like where it is in the bottom right, or this has to be taken care by the parent as well. If the parent doesn't have that information, the child size might be ignored. This is what is about widgets and constraints. I will have the link for in the description for the Flutter documentation, where you can read more about it and get more information, more knowledge on that. But if you have any questions, please feel free to comment and I will try to answer your questions. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and click on the bell icon to never miss an update.